Hello everybody, my name is Mariam. As you maybe read already my first blog about Afghan women in Switzerland, about their lives, about their journey in Switzerland. So today I'm here in the beautiful campus of EPFL and I will interview a very successful woman, Afghan woman. She's doing her PhD here in EPFL Lausanne. So let's go and see her in her office. So here we are. Hi, Horia.
Hello, Mariam. Thank you very much for coming to EPFL.
Thank you for your invitation and thank you that you accepted my request.
Thanks a lot for everything you're doing. I think this is great. So
thank you very much. So let's start. Tell me more about yourself and about your journey in Switzerland.
So I was born in Afghanistan,
Yeah.
and my family and I, we fled the war when I was 6.
Yeah.
So we moved to Switzerland, where we asked for a politic refugee status.
Yes.
And basically, I grew up here. I did all my school here in a bilingual town that's called Biotechnology.
Mm-hmm.
And I studied pharmacy, so I have PharmD, and now I decided to pursue a career in research. So I'm currently doing a PhD in EPFL. I'm working in the field of life sciences with stem cells of the fat, so it's really exciting and cool.
Cool. Do you remember like some events when you came to Switzerland? Or you were very, very little?
So I guess 6 years old is not that little,
Yeah.
but I have had this thing, and when I talk with my siblings and some other people that came to Switzerland when they were quite young, I kind of have a loss of memory of whatever
Yeah.
happened, so I cannot really remember Afghanistan or anything. I have some very small snippets of very specific memories, like my uncle gave me some earrings, I remember that, but other than that I don't really have a memory of what my first 6 years of life were like. And then the furthest memory that I actually have that are more actual memories that I do remember the whole timeline of are when we arrived in Switzerland, and I believe we first were in Basel, and that's what I remember. So we were in this refugee camp. So those are my first memories that I properly have. So yeah, unfortunately there's a part of me that's still missing. So yeah.
You were in Basel refugee camp, right?
Yes.
I was there also. I was when I came here in Switzerland, I was about 10 years old, 10, 11 I think. I have way more memories, I think, no more than yours. You were 6 years old. So what do you think now about Switzerland? That you are living here, you study here. Do you consider Switzerland as your first or second home?
That's a complicated question, and I think it's going to be complicated no matter what child of immigration you're going to ask that, because I do consider Switzerland as my country. So I know the language very well, so I'm fluent in French, completely better than I am in Dari, which is my mother tongue. Yeah. So I know how to read it, I know the culture better, I enjoy everything here in Switzerland, and I still feel Afghan as well. I have my roots, my faith is obviously I'm Muslim, so that's a faith that's overwhelmingly majority in Afghanistan, so I consider myself as an Afghan, as a Muslim. The cuisine, of course, Afghan food is everything, Afghan music as well, so yeah, it's a bit complicated because you consider yourself Swiss on some things and Afghan on other things, and it's always complicated because you have a bit of trouble constructing an identity when you have these two sides.
Exactly. I have the same. I had the same experience. I mean, you have some identity challenges going through your journey in Switzerland. You don't really know, am I belonging here or is Afghanistan my home? And I went 2013 in Afghanistan back home to see my family and relatives. I didn't really felt home back then. It was for me quite challenging. It was they saw me as a foreigner.
The same experience, exactly.
And I was no, I'm an Afghan, so I'm here. I want to feel home. So I was no, Switzerland is actually my home. And when I was here at school, I was I consider myself as a foreigner. I was not very, very happy. Not very happy. I was just having challenges to accept the fact that I belong here.
Yeah, it's complicated. I totally can relate to that, and I think a lot of other people can relate to that as well, that you don't really feel home anywhere. But I think that kind of makes the strength of people like us as well, because then we have this dual culture that both of them are really anchored into us. So we have something that pure Afghans or pure Swiss people cannot relate to, because we have both, and we can also judge and take whatever we like the most about both cultures. So we can speak about, I don't know, lighter things food, it's going to be obviously Afghan food, but we can speak about more deeper subjects like politics, economy, what we think about society, women's rights, etc. So yeah, it's super cool because we have this both of these backgrounds that enrich us actually, and I think that makes us unique.
I think also. I think we should keep both. Our culture in Switzerland, like in Switzerland, we are living here and we have to accept their culture, their principles, and also we don't have to forget about our identity. Because we have a very rich culture.
Yeah.
So back to your PhD.
Yes.
How did you decide to do your did you have a vision from a very young age that you want to do your PhD, or how it was? Tell me a little bit about your journey there here.
Okay, so basically I'm a very confused person in life. So I did high school in economy and law.
Yeah.
And then I decided, okay, I want to do medical studies because I want to do research. I want to back when I started my studies, I want to cure cancer. And when I started medicine, I saw that it's not that, that directed towards research. So I talked with some professors and they told me, either you can go do pharmacy studies or go do chemistry in EPFL. And when they said EPFL, they saw my eyes going like, oh my God, EPFL is physics, math, I cannot do this. So I went to do pharmacy studies in the beginning, very much wanting to do research. So when I did my pharmacy studies, I saw that there's also community pharmacy, etc. So I got lost again and confused again. And thankfully, our last year, we had a 6 months master project that I did in a lab in EPFL and a 6 months internship in a pharmacy. And I saw that I liked research way more. So came back to my first love, and I got offered a PhD position in the lab I did my master project in. Yeah. So that's where I am right now.
Very interesting journey. I think there is also some challenges, during the journey I had also, for example, I know a lot of women, they struggle somehow what they really want to do, but I think in Switzerland you have the chance to really go follow your dream, but even if you have quite of all other challenges, other ways, but you can still find your way. Yeah. And I'm happy for you.
Thanks a lot. That's super nice.
Yeah. So if you would just think about your studies, what were the challenges maybe? What were the difficult moments or memories you had you want to share? Because I think there are a lot of students hearing us today or seeing this interview, and they want to also get inspired.
So actually, as a first generation migrant, it was school was quite complicated. Yeah. So first of all, because you don't have this very simple thing that parents can help you with your homework. So obviously they can always help with math because numbers are the same in any language, but they cannot really help in French, geography, history, and everything, because even if they can somewhat help in history, it's not the same language, so it's super complicated. So only with that, but also my parents don't know the Swiss school system. Yeah. So we've had some challenges with my siblings. We can talk about it for hours, but mainly of teachers that didn't give us what we were allowed, that didn't tell us about the opportunities that we had. So basically all of the teachers that we had. So I have 5 siblings, so we're 5 siblings. I have 3 other siblings that went through the same thing as me, where basically we were all told that we should do CFC. And that we shouldn't consider higher studies, and we had this one specific teacher that was completely racist. He was always belittling me in math, and I was a very good math student. I had 5.5. Yeah. So for people who are from Switzerland, we kind of know the grade. I always had 5.5, and he would never move me into an upper class, because in the secondary school you have this ABC system, so pre-gymnasium and stuff like that. I can relate. So I was in the middle one, and he would never move me up, where I had the right. And even before in primary school, I actually had 5.5, 5.5, and 5 in the 3 main branches, so French, math, and German, and actually they put me in the middle section. But my parents didn't know the system, so this is what you get, right? And when you have the privilege to have parents that know, that etc., then the parents will go and scream at the teacher and be like, no, this is her right, this is her grade, she should be put here. But we didn't have those chances, but still, we powered through, and we all thankfully have very good degrees, we did very good studies, so that's good as well, because socially then you have a better status, right? Because a woman with a headscarf that's just mopping floors is not going to have the same impact on someone that's walking by, because that's going to affirm their stereotype of what a woman with a headscarf is. Whereas a woman with a headscarf doing a PhD, it's okay, so you're not just this little submissive woman working at home all the time or just mopping floors, right? Not that I'm belittling that job, and these women work very hard to provide for their families, etc. But it does feed into a certain stereotype, and that's changing as well, because our generation and the generation that's coming after us are people who are going to be more present in society and more mixed with Swiss people. So it's going to change, hopefully, I think, the perception of people of us. And I'm kind of optimistic that in general we're going to have better cohabitation, all of us together.
Of course, I see you did stand from the very beginning, like stand for yourself and somehow also represent Afghan women. You just talked about your headscarf. So when did you begin actually wearing a headscarf? Was it like from very when you were very young or after maybe?
So my poor dad got a lot of bad comments when I wore the headscarf, because obviously if you wear a headscarf, it's either your husband or your dad who forces you to wear it. No, but I decided obviously for my own choice to wear my headscarf when I was about 20. It's when I knew for sure that I wanted to pursue a more medical degree, because in the beginning I was still hesitating to go to business school, and with that I knew for sure that it was going to be very hard to obtain internships and jobs with a headscarf. So when I was sure that I'm going to stay in this medical field, in the research field, I know the headscarf is a bit more accepted. So I started wearing it when I was 20, and I have 2 older sisters that don't wear it. So it's kind of like presentation, and people are always surprised when they introduce me, like, oh, this is my little sister. Like, oh my God, the little one is wearing a headscarf. And every time we meet people, we're all 3 together, it's like, oh, you're the eldest. I'm like, no, I'm not. But if we, so it's kind of like this stereotype that we put on women, that obviously if you wear a headscarf you must be forced, it cannot be a choice, but it was totally a choice. And it put me through some challenges. For example, when I was looking for an internship in a pharmacy, like it was super complicated. I had put my picture on my CV, and I think I applied in 63 pharmacies, and just like 2 of them responded, one saying no and the other one saying yes, come in for an interview. And then when I went for the interview, they were like, yeah, okay, we're going to accept you because you have to do this internship for your studies, but just know that if you were to work, we're not like, it was big, very big chain of pharmacies in Switzerland that don't allow religious statements for employees, but mainly we know, like when you tell someone who's not from Muslim faith or not like a foreigner that doesn't come from the countries, like many Muslim countries, like I know, and the community in general, we know that when it's said no religious signs, it basically means no headscarf. Because this came like recently. Before that there was not policy on this, like if someone wears a cross it's not a problem, but the headscarf became a problem for some people, so they put these policies. But so that was complicated. And when I removed my picture from the CV, I actually got way more interviews and way more acceptance, because my CV is an okay CV. So I don't have a bad CV, I don't have bad grades, I did a lot of extracurricular activities as well. So I have quite a good CV. So as soon as I removed the pictures, I have like tons of people accepting me, like calling back if I can come for an interview. So for me, that was my research. I was like, okay, black and white, so we can see the difference. So but that's
I know a few women with headscarf. They do exactly the same thing. They just remove their pictures, and they got after the interview. They say always, if they want to hire me, they should hire me based on my skills, not on how I look. So,
and apparently I have the skills, right?
Of course, obviously. But the thing is, when they get to the interview, they will see them then with a headscarf, and was like, wow. Do you wear that every day?
Yes. No, it's just for the interview. Just to shock you.
What do you think about it? What do you think, like, if we want to accept you, what you're gonna do? I think this is quite challenging for a lot of women here, also for Afghan women. But what would you give an advice? How you would give an advice for Afghan women with a headscarf?
So actually, that's a bit sad, but at the same time, I think that's what's going to help Afghan women or women with a headscarf to stand out. You have to do a ton of things on the side. So if you have a regular CV, like 90% of the other students, like you just did your studies, like have a small job on the side, like 1 hour a week, 2 hours a week, okay, great. So I would say engage in as many things as you can. So in my bachelor's, I looked for a small job, but in a pharma company, so I would have some experience to back my CV up. So actually on Monday mornings, I wouldn't go to lecture, I would go to this job just to have a better CV, because I know, because of the headscarf, I knew that I would have more challenges than someone else to get accepted. So I needed this extra stuff to actually stand out. Also, I did it because I wanted experience, and since I'm a confused person, I needed to see all the options to see which one I liked. And I also started being part of the Swiss Association of Pharmacy Students because I really wanted to do
that. I read it in your in LinkedIn.
Yeah, exactly. So I actually really loved that. It was a great experience. I wanted to join it because I wanted to do something different, etc. And I got to meet a lot of people from pharmacy students from all over. it was super great, and it was a great experience as well, because at my last year that I was in the association, I was the president, so it gives you like more soft skills like communication, management, leadership, and all of this. So it's really cool. Also conflict resolution.
I think, you know, even with or without headscarf, you have to really engage in the society.
Exactly.
Because you're not really from here, even if you did grow up here.
Yeah,
so
the color of your skin is different.
You're still different. You're still different, and we have to engage. We have to outshine our city somehow.
Yeah.
That we are somehow different and unique.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the end of the day, they will take you also not just because of your skills, but also because of your personalities.
Yeah.
And if you're all the engagements that you are doing.
Yeah,
so I think we're doing a great job.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
This is also great advice for other women.
Yeah, but and I think you're doing a great job as well, trying to represent this, and also yourself, like going out there, interviewing women, and showing also your path in life.
Yeah,
I think it's amazing and inspiring.
I think I decided to do that because when I came in Switzerland, I didn't have that support.
Yeah,
I didn't have other Afghan women as role models. You know, I was like always searching for role models. To see, like, to look up to them, what they did achieve, and what's possible to achieve. Because when you're here with your parents, like you said, your parents can't really help you. I mean, they support you with everything else at home. They really try, but they can't really. They don't know really the system. Yeah, they can't really support you in this part. So you search for other possibilities. So I think that's a great idea, like for Afghan community to make a great network, like to network Afghan community together.
Yeah, of course.
To learn from each other. And somehow,
I totally agree with that. I 100% agree, and I can see already the difference. So, as I said before, we're 5 siblings, so 4 of us are very close in age when we were all born in Afghanistan and moved here. But my little brother was born here, and he was like, he's 9 years younger than me, so it's the age gap is quite big. And I can already see the privilege that he has when you compare it to us, because we knew the system, we knew everything that was possible for him, we knew everything that he could do, etc. So he had a lot of chance as compared to us, right? So yeah, I think that's super cool, and I'm really I'm optimistic for the future, and really can see already the changes now. So yeah, great. Talking about the future, what's your vision for the future, and what's your vision for the Afghan community in Switzerland? Okay, so I believe the Afghan community is doing great things, and you're a great example of that. Thank you very much. And I believe that we are showing up more and more in the public space. As you said, that for example, I'm doing a PhD. My sisters are working in banks, etc. So I think we're more and more mingling with the Swiss people, even if I consider myself a Swiss people, but still with this Afghan roots. So I think we're moving forward, and we're becoming more of a homogenized society with each individuality, whereas before you were the only dark-skinned person in a room, and you're like, okay, I'm the only dark-skinned one, I'm the only one wearing a headscarf, it's a bit scary, etc. But now I think it's going to move forward as well. And I hope as well in the future, with my knowledge that I'm acquiring right now, I can do something for Afghanistan, do something for the Afghan community here as well, and hopefully manage to help Afghan women as well empower themselves here or in Afghanistan. You're a great role model for Afghan women in Switzerland, and I think you will do great things in the future. I'm very happy interviewing you, and just wishing you all the best. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.